Hey guys. So a few days ago I went to the Bundy Museum in the house and I recorded a whole video but I keep forgetting to upload it. So here it is now. Hope you enjoy. Hope you catch something that I didn't. Either way, let's get this rolling.
25 years ago, it started with just the house itself. And 25 years later, all the Chinese restaurant are ours as well. In the back, the house is up the street as well. There's a literacy center up there where they do country nights, TV, stuff like that. So we do the best we can. So the gallery 131 is no longer in after COVID. It's the only thing we kind of lost so far. We couldn't afford it. Now it's really just a small venue. So in the meantime, I work when I live on the top floor. The door rooms, they're full of that streets and as well. So right now, that really helps pays the property tax. But my commute to work back and forth, really. So, I'm going to have to talk to the boss about expenses.
But yeah, get ready really early too.
The only other thing too is I always have calls. Something goes wrong or something. Yeah, but it's not a bad deal.
Oh boy.
Don't be scared, huh? Because, the flower pot used to be here. So you see the flower pot, got to take it right out the street. So all it is a latch. If you need an emergency, you got the front door, just a quick to get out. So once you be alarmed, I click the door behind us.
You want a little Georgie?
I will admit, late night this house.
Extra haunted.
When it first comes on, boom, bam.
Let the games begin. I ain't afraid of no ghost.
Yeah.
It's showtime.
So welcome to the house of Harlow Elijah Bundy. Here it goes.
Yeah.
So again, it's just the latch you get. Obviously there's back doors and all that stuff, but just in case perhaps we sneak over here. We'll give you kind of start with a visual here. So this is Harlow Elijah Bundy, and this was Harlow's home. Oh, please come on. Okay. Yeah. So this is one of the things about the Bundy Museum. We don't have glass up and it's sterile and all that stuff, but we have this kind of thing where it looks like they were just here 10 minutes ago. Mm-hmm. So don't be afraid to walk around and stuff. Just don't play with the china or anything. Yeah.
It's made in China.
That's kind of our claim to fame here. We're kind of interactive. So this is Harlow, the guy that kind of looks like Colonel Sanders there, and this was his home. Willard was his older brother, and you see Willard now look at the camera. So Willard was
I'm looking.
the tinkerer or the inventor. So he was a clockmaker and a jeweler, and he had this wonderful invention that he came up with. And Harlow, his brother, said, "I like that idea so much that he became the promoter or the PR guy." So Harlow himself was a lawyer by trade, so he's good. He knows how to talk himself into a deal, or out of a deal. And he was also at the time the postmaster for Orion in New York. So this little machine over here, when you went to work at the turn of the century, somebody probably had a feather pen and a little inkwell, which we have upstairs on the desk, and they signed you in for work. So if anywhere in the world, this is the first time you punched in for work. They invented the punch clock. And we still punch it to this day. I know it's those guys that did.
No, it almost looks like a radio.
Yeah. All right. So this is a later model. So the earlier models are kind of big and bulky, and there's some different types that they used until they kind of went standard. So when we go back to the archive, you get to see all those as well. So the story with Harlow is this is a really great idea, and he promotes it. So he's at the World's Expo in Chicago, and so he's working for the Oneonta Post Office. So his first contract, per se, is a government contract. So this company goes really, really well, and as you still punch into this day. So these guys started this, and in the next 20 years or so, they started developing other companies, like at your general store, like in the Old West, there was scales and tabulation, a bunch of cash registers and stuff like that. So all these companies and machines are in this company. So by 1914, Harlow there is kind of getting down with his health, and he decides to move to Pasadena, and he builds a giant mansion out there, But before he goes, he decides that he has to turn this company over. He wants to be kind of a silent partner in the back. He needs to turn this company over to somebody who's going to take the wheel and make it happen. So he hires on Thomas Watson. Endicott area, Watson Boulevard is named after him. So Watson comes in and says, you know, I would not want to take over this company, but I'd like to do something to change the name. So ITR, International Time Recorders, becomes IBM. So the computer age, America's economy, the world changes for the better. Right in this room right here with these guys smoking cigars. So as you know, in IBM's, so we're the first IBM, but now we're the last because all of our, you know, the work has been outsourced. You know, they went to Silicon Valley. You know, Little Binghamton doesn't have any more IBM. So the last factories are now been demolished. I guess they'll be done by the spring. And again, the world changes for the better, you guys. So you were in a house that was built in 1892 and only took 1 year to construct this house. And yeah, pretty interesting. But
New record.
We know there's like a beehive of activity in here. You know, there's a lot of people floating around here because, you know, there's no social programs like food stamps or anything, which we know is in the news right now. So back then, if you wanted to stay alive, you probably needed to work. So we know that people were very interested in working back there, and the craftsmanship shows this and the time they took. Because the little bell roses, see these little bell roses, you guys? One of these days I'm going to count them, but they're on every single doorway, every single archway, this archway, all the way into the back room. 130 years old, and they didn't have a Dremel. So that's done with a chisel and a hammer on all of these over and over, which is just amazing. And you did that in a year. All done on site with a
Chisel.
I still can't wrap my head around it. So Binghamton has a nickname, which is like the aspirin capital, but Binghamton is called the Parlor City. The Salt City.
I think I knew that.
Yeah, so do you know why it was called the Parlor City?
Because of all the parlors in the city.
That's the best guess we get, but kind of to that. So this is a parlor, and some of these big houses were designed with a parlor in the front end, with pocket doors, and they would shut these doors. You could keep the heat in, but Parlor City, because there were more than 30 cigar factories in the city, which is kind of funny to look at now, because we know we can't grow tobacco here, but because the Erie Canal is an hour north of us, both Shenango Canal, both rivers converge here, so they shipped tobacco here, and it was rolled here. And it was also thought that women had a much better hand at rolling cigars.
Excuse me?
Yes.
I didn't get the part where someone called Norwich something. What's that?
Yeah, Norwich has always been at least one of those things where it's famous for making aspirin, which became a miracle drug in the world for a long time. So little cities, I don't know if that actually has an official nickname. Does Norwich have a nickname?
No.
No.
Right, so I do know Syracuse, Salt City,
Yep.
Parlor City, and something about Schenectady. I don't know what that one is. It's because I pulled that out the memory stuff. So, being that it's a Parlor City, so those guys smoked all those cigars, those guys with the handlebar mustaches and everything, with this door closed.
Sorry.
So, in this room is the only original and surviving painted ceiling. Because there was so much soot on it, we did not know there was paint underneath it. So we took the cigar soot off, and it preserved the paint. Doesn't preserve your body if you're smoking cigars, does it? But we have no idea why. So that's why you see it's a little bit dark around the edges. We don't want to take too much off and take the paint off.
That's nice.
Yes, it is very nice. So all the others have been, you know, redone, restored, changed around. So this is the only surviving original one because of cigars in the Parlor City. So behind you, there's a couple other cool things in this house. This is just made of plaster, and we gave it the antique paint on there. But if you look at the center of that, the whole thing about that whole relief is that they're beating up the little one in the middle. Do you see how they're getting up?
This one's head doesn't even look like it's really
They're beating him up. So I've heard, and I don't know if this is just one of those things we made up to make it more interesting, but supposedly if you were in trouble with Harlow, you got sat in this room before you went into his office, wherever you had the office at. But you had a chance to look at that picture of someone getting beat up. You were next to me in Harlow's office. I don't know if that was true.
Right.
But it sounds fun, doesn't
Right,
it?
yeah, it does.
Abusive. But again, we also know too that Harlow really wasn't Mr. Congeniality or friendly at all. It was hard work, no play. So he did about 80 hours a week, you know, to get this company up and running, but thank God he did that, and, you know, the rest is history, kind of. So we're gonna sneak through the house here, because this is also a woodworker's paradise, because not only were all these done by hand, but we've built what we call gingerbread artwork over 3 archways in the house, which is absolutely amazing to do without a power tool. Maybe, you know, maybe a lathe, which you're using up on your leg, so. Very cool. So if you guys do get a chance, on every first Friday of the month, we have the art walk here, so we're open, you know, we're a little far up from State Street where the art galleries are, but we have a lot of great loyalty. Plus, we have one of the greatest galleries right here on the top floor. The whole ballroom is a gallery, so we just had someone open there on the first, so we'll get to there in a few moments.
I like the napkin design.
Yeah, that was the, one of the people who's been with us 16 years. It is kind of amazing. You should see Christmas. He does them in like swans and all that. Yeah, they decorate the banister. It looks so wonderful here. Christmas tree goes in the corner. But we can't light the fire.
Dang it!
This is one of those. So we do have a little bit of a negative side of the story, but something, you know, profound happened to the company. So Willard, the inventor, I showed you over there, hired on his son as well. So they're all working, and you know, Harlow's running the ship at this time. And for some reason or another, I stuck with this up, but Harlow fires his brother from the company and his brother's son. Oh, so like, you know, come on. So he goes to Syracuse, and he starts, because he's the inventor, he starts his own time registry company up there. But at this point, Bundy already has trademarks, patents, everything in place, so it goes into litigation with the courts, and those two guys never speak again.
Oh boy.
Brothers?
Yeah, brothers.
Sounds a little like
And
the
of
Wright
course,
brothers.
He's the inventor, you know, and just Bundy ran with it. So, again, I don't know all the details on it, but, you know, sometimes money will turn you funny, won't it?
So you guys redid the painting on this one?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you can see it's got much of a more modern look. But also, you know, with a little bit of a template, but I'll show you a picture up there. The one woman's on a step ladder, just doing it with a little brush on all these scenes. It's just a labor of love upstairs. It's wonderful. Here's another one that gingerbread works. Again, this is done without a power tool. How they did that, and what time it was to took to get that intricacies made on that. It's incredible. Plus, 3 young kids grew up in the house. Nobody swung on it. Nobody threw a ball through it. But if you look at Bundy, would you get, I wouldn't let him be upset with me, would you? Kids! Yes, they were well behaved.
Yes.
So again, this is a wonderful place where, I mean, this is cherry. I mean, just, how do you do this without power tools? It's
I would be able to do it.
Yeah, me either. Of course, these days, you know,
I would.
this kind of craftsmanship is rare to find, and if you do, it's really expensive to have done.
Yep, that's what they did.
With a carbon tool
Yeah.
by hand.
And how they did the house in a year is just amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna swing up the stairwell of the grand staircase and continue to tour, because speaking of more woodwork, when you see the parquet floor at the top of the stairs,
It is
it's
by
pretty amazing.
by
Check out those paintings.
Yes, so this is very famous French over there, the storm.
Oh,
Also, it's probably something notable too, is back then, you could copy a painting, you know, or make your own rendition, but, you know, after, you know, plagiarism and all came in, you know, much later, but that's quite the nice knockoff and much bigger than the original.
that's a nice chandelier.
Yeah, hey, you guys hold my ankles, I have to get that bulb right there. I can't tell everybody, guess what, that bulb is gonna stay out, because I don't think it's
It's
worth
busted.
the risk, you know what I mean? Accident-free campus this year.
I wonder how they did it.
So originally though, that was not there. So the owner of the Bundy, Michael Weinstein, originally got the house and was gonna make this like Antique Road. That's just over the tracks, and have an antique shop and sell his wares there. He's a antiquities dealer, a American picker kind of guy.
Oh boy.
So his life work is all around you, because when the Bundys moved up towards the factory area, they went to C.F. Johnson's house. So when you move, you take everything with you. So nothing is original. So it's all period pieces as close as you get. So his life work of being an antique dealer has furnished this home and what it looks like. So he had found that. So why not make the grand staircase a little grander? You put the chandelier in. So I think it's a nice addition. It does kind of look like it was there. All right, let's move into the daughter's bedroom. She had the best view. Of course, back in the day, this was all woods that you would see out these windows. just the one road that ran up. Well, some of the cool things that we do know, or I found out when I first got here, was that they found her diary in the house. So we know some about people's names and some of the shenanigans that happened here. Sorry, there wasn't anything about ghosts, I guess, in there, but so, you just can't write that in your diary. You never know who's gonna find your diary. So she had this isn't the master bedroom, but she, I think, had the best bedroom in the house. Because you guys know, probably like Norwich, down this way, you don't get a lot of sunshine. Like, say, everyone knows about Broome County, Doom County. So, again, I never had to put a light on here, so she got the best lighting. And 130 years ago, the glass has a curve. How did they do that?
Oh yeah.
We don't give them enough credit, do we? That what they were doing back then. So I mean, you have to melt that down across the pad, a template, and all, so it's really. So let's say all those got broken. Not going to be
I really like
replaced
the
like
lace
that because
curtains. They're kind of cool.
I have a friend that works and he does color windows, and he says, you're like way out of your league on this because we could replace them, but you better have a deep pocket to replace those like that. Have that kind of work done. So
Yeah.
So of course, I always have to say this part too. So she's from an upper class family. She's required to have a really nice signature, so she would practice at a desk like this, and she would learn cursive. Does anyone here know cursive?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, what do you mean? They don't teach it in school anymore. I'm really upset
I'm
about
still trying to.
that. No, but digital signature.
I'm still trying
Yeah.
to read cursive.
Well, that's one of the things. That's why people, like doctors, always can read it. And also, before text messages, this is how you courted a boy or a girl, with the little calling cards.
Humanity is a virtue.
Where have I heard that one?
Yeah.
I've heard that one before.
Virtue, right?
Yeah, very nice.
Yep.
So she, not only that, but Michael, being that this is about time clocks and time here, he's always got really great clocks and timepieces all over the house as well. And again, for 130 years old, she's in pretty good shape. We have issues here and there, and sandpaper, we work on it. So we're very proud that it's in this good shape, or it's just stayed this good shape. So we're gonna head into the master bedroom where Harlow and the wife slept.
Okay, yeah, this
You
is
guys
my
know who
room.
Christopher Lee is, right?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, so he was an actor who also was, he played Dracula originally. And
Oh,
then he
yeah.
played Lord of the Rings, he was Saruman.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think he's dead now, but I saw a documentary about him that the stuff that he had done in a lifetime with learning how he was a champion fencer and all kinds of stuff. So I always think about that. He hated the vampire thing that he did, all the vampire movies. But this room here originally looked like a vampire movie because there was a dark crimson red wallpaper like you've seen like in the Bela Lugosi and all that stuff. But it couldn't be saved in a restoration. That's not something they sell anymore, the dark red crimson, unless it's a Bordello or it's Mexico or something. So all the stuff in here, they kind of brightened it up, made it a little bit lighter, redid the ceilings, that wonderful cloud work you did up there. And as I said, and you know that Binghamton is kind of wet and damp most of the year, and it's really gonna get bad now. So back then, the whole factory was probably just heated by wood stoves at this point, So it's the 1900s. So it's down by Court Street where all those fast food restaurants are. Mm-hmm. That's where the factory was, so it's called Mud Alley. Hard, it's just like when you see they'll hit the wagons and they're slushing the mud. So we read in that diary that the maid was required, and she better have it done, to have his slippers in a hot box next to the fire to heat them.
That's why I see slippers.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah. I'm glad we didn't find the slippers in here. Right? It's not great. But so again, that's
wish we
a
did.
wonderful idea, and it does say that's where they ought to be. And back then,
It would smell rotten if you did.
it would probably be
No, unless you kept
just
washing
like
them.
paper in there. I always call this the first electric blanket. Put your brick in there or hot coals, whatever you're comfortable with.
Bed warmer.
Yeah, bed warmer. Yep.
Yeah,
Because you
and
got to
old beds
compensate
warm.
for Binghamton. We know how
Don't touch
chilly
it.
and
Sorry.
damp it is.
I got
Okay. So Bruce, the youngest boy, was this was his nursery originally. But we also find out through that little bit of diary stuff that when the guys are down there talking about business and changing the world and 2 over cigars, the girls were in here gossiping as well. So this was their little gossip room, or talking about the boys. Oh,
Boys in
such
the
a
hood.
great mustache, didn't he? So this is the daughter. that lived in that bedroom over there. Then we found the diary, and she does look like the most, you know, like a little angel, doesn't she? And she actually looks a little bit more upbeat than most people who are in old-time photos. You guys have noticed that everyone kind of looks like miserable, like it's the end of the world in old-time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Smile.
So there's some reasons for that, especially with the women. It's because you see the corsets and the muscles they have to wear, they actually get tied up like this because modest. You're not supposed to be showing cleavage. You know, you're supposed to be. So what would happen was girls would pass out from that. That's why these little chase lounges are in foyers, because women would pass out and they would fall right onto one of those. So it's not a fallacy when you see it in the movie. Oh, but it would happen because. Plus, the camera takes, I think she said 4 to 6 minutes with that thing in the air, like they'll take her out. So in the meantime, like, smile, girl, smile, come on, here we come. You know, so they're like, oh my God, please get it over with.
Ooh, I do not want to wear a corset. That's very tight.
Yeah. Well,
Aren't they all?
The thing too is that, you know, when you're privileged like this family was, that, you know, some things were not really a big deal. Especially even the maid who worked here, she did pretty good because she had, you know, modern machines, the Industrial Revolution, where, you know, most maids are probably just washing them in the riverbank, you know, for. So we do know there was a water closet in here, and that's what they called it before they called it a toilet. It was called a water closet. So they would sit up here. The maid was required to fill that tank with water, and by the gravity would come down and flush the toilet.
Nice.
And then you refill that. So it wasn't here when we got the house, but here's a couple examples of what that looked like back in the day. Before we called it a toilet, it's called a water closet.
Huh.
I mean, there's no closet, there's no toilet. Okay. So also in this area becomes where we have paranormal activity. We do have a really huge jungle here in this, and this wood goes all the way into the cellar.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Are the kids down there?
No, that's where the other Bundy lives. So if we have linens or food could come in these, wood or coal for the fireplaces. And every Stephen King movie, Red Rum is, you know, you gotta hide from the monster. Yeah, so this is one of those places where, and also, they didn't probably know this back in the day, but they put a skylight in for sunshine. We just don't get sunshine here. They probably weren't, you know, real familiar with.
They
the
put
weather was.
stained glass for a sunshine roof. Come on.
Yeah. So we're gonna, in this area, cautiously, gonna go into the maid's chambers where I guess it's a real hot spot for what happens around here. And up in the ballroom, they've said they've seen little girls in Victorian dresses swinging, you know, swinging around.
My
Because
kind
there
of
was usually
room.
a venue back then. There were no like halls or Knights of Columbuses, so they would invite people over here. And I guess, you know, Bundy wasn't a big, but his wife was like, she had, you know, she was a great entertainer. So this is where
My kind
this
of
is the
room.
chambers of Mary Shea.
Chamber of Secrets.
No.
And, well, there is a secret in here.
Literally.
Yes, no, literally there is. You know, stop playing with the light, Mary. It was on this morning. It does it all the time. I'm not sure why. So, the chambers of Mary Shea. Now, Mary Shea had come over from Ireland with her two brothers to build America's railroads. And I'm not sure how she met the Bundys, but
Irish and Chinese immigrants, along
no.
with
Irish.
Transcontinental Railroad.
Sorry, Mary, I'm sorry. No devices. So, all right, so
I'm
you know,
putting
so
I
she
put
comes
mine in
over
my
here, and
pocket. I don't want
if
to,
you've been in,
you know.
if you ever go into a mansion or you read anything in historical times, that a maid was really very low on the system of how people were treated back then, like almost, you know, indentured servants and stuff. I know, Mary. So let me tell your story. So this is probably 4 or 5 times bigger than usually what they would get. It would usually just be a closet where they would sleep and go to their duties. So Mary had a pretty good gig here. So Mary didn't meet a tragic end in the house or anything, so we have no real, I haven't asked her why Mary here, or she's asked why Mary's here. Maybe she just really likes this job in the afterlife as well, you know. So, so a couple of us, including myself, I'm the maid here. So I do, you know, make sure the beds and everything's clean. So I've had no issues with Mary, no breezes, no pushing me down the stairs or anything. Because the one paranormal investigator said that Mary, attempted to push him down the stairs.
Ooh.
Right, so well then be nice then, right? Yeah. So of this whole house, you see everything's really nice and symmetrical and well, that is. But this door is not. We don't know why that door is like that. But as you read that sign, what does that sign say?
Please don't open this door.
Now I
This
had heard this,
causes
and
that
I
hinge
swear,
is broken.
and I tell you the truth. God is my witness, and Mary. I have never opened that door. I don't know what's back there.
Oh.
It says I shouldn't. So as I got older, I finally listened to people. When they tell you not to do something, yeah, do it. Right. But also, you know, it's kind of one of those things that I think it. All right, Mary, we'll move on. So, yeah. One of these days, they want to put one of those little things into the cameras that you can see in there, like a spelunking.
I would do it.
Yeah. So I haven't asked them. Okay. So
Bye,
That's an
Mary.
old
from
sewing
here, we're gonna
machine.
go up the stairwell right into the ballroom there. So we don't exactly know what the architects were thinking, but they used to put the ballrooms with all those heavy people on the very tops of the houses. And obviously they changed it eventually, but they thought it was a
Old
good
sewing
idea.
machine.
Yeah.
And watch the steps. They're steep.
Yeah, definitely watch on the way down because people weren't of a very tall stature back then either, except for like Abraham Lincoln.
Used to be
Yeah. To a new artist, and they could just stay there
Ooh.
for a month. So we have numerous types of artwork up here during the year. We've had, you know, some real abstract stuff, some spooky stuff with like specters and stuff on it. And also some relief art here back here as well. So I have to ask you. So part of this one as well is a slideshow, which I'm technically not the.
Do you want me to look at it?
Yeah, we do. I don't.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask Eric to be, but so it's easy to just hit this button and pull it up there. Oh, thank you. So this is really one of the best venues to show your artwork in here. So you know people, well, they want to be up in this one. So not only that, but we've had people. One guy, he did glow in the dark with paint. So, but you didn't see it until the lights went off or he put a light on it. So it had a whole different picture. So he also had a little band up here. He had a guy up here with a ukulele and an accordion. So it's a nice good time.
Was it Weird Al?
Yeah. I remember that because I have a hernia right now. So you heard that song, right? Living with a hernia.
Ow!
Yeah. Jeez, bro. So also, part of my duties will be if there's wine, cheese, crackers, and you know, if they bring their own booze, we set that up in this room here, which is a whispering room. This is like St. Paul's Cathedral has the same thing. That the acoustics just float around this room, so you can whisper it through one wall and be heard on the other side. We know that the daughter played violin, so this would be a great place for playing or practicing the violin. If you talk out loud, you can hear the difference in your voice. But for the first Friday, I don't have everything cleaned up, so that's what I was doing before you guys showed up. Yeah, so
You can't be in here to hear it? If somebody whispered something like from over there?
I'm not sure. Well, I think the directions say, within the walls. Because what it does is,
Circles around.
right?
So
And
six of them over
we,
there?
we kind of picked our own too, because this was in bad shape when we got the house, because it was close to the outside.
Listen.
That was you.
Actually, do this. Talk to yourself like this, and you hear the sound change right here within your ears. Do it right there in the center.
Right here. Oh.
Yeah, now keep talking and walk forward.
1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
4,
music.
5, 6. That's cool.
Yeah. So that'll be more, you know, the places we entertain and
We good?
keep me warm.
No, you watch it. I got it over here.
Oh, there you see, you're right. Oh, was that time lapse on an apple? That was time lapse on an apple. Oh, squirrel.
Squirrel.
I am easily distracted like that. Squirrel. Yeah, you gotta talk out loud in there. Hear echo in your ears.
They're like old Greek amphitheaters.
So Caitlin here, she pretty much runs the photo lab over in the photo building. So she lives above me in that house over there too. So we all live, you know, it's kind of one great big happy family.
Yeah, right.
So I'm glad I left the heater on that. stairs.
Oh, spiral stairway.
So servant stairs, because it goes right to her chambers and that's it. So, you know, a maid really isn't supposed to be running around the house unless she's doing her duties. So, you know, to the pantry, she's gotta go right to work, here to the kitchen, back to her room. Careful, the handle is a little to the left, low a little bit, so be careful. The first twist right there. So this is a really big, giant house, but the pantry is kind of narrow and small. So she would serve into that dining room. This is the dining room we saw originally in the beginning with the nice roses that were in there. So she could serve out there. And Michael really likes china. He's got a lot of china here, so we rotate this out for certain holidays and stuff. So he definitely has a lot of china. So again, he's the you know, an antiquities dealer. So the great big house, and this is the dumbwaiter comes down.
Those white and blue cups look like the cups. Look like a set from my
Yeah,
Grandma
those
Carolina's China
yeah,
set.
right outside that door by that window is almost exactly what you're talking. It's like I think it's a Dutch design that has the white and the blue. Yep. Yeah, it's very, very famous.
I like
So
Dutch
here's
design.
that big dumbwaiter. It goes out in the cellar. So eventually this house becomes one of the first ones to have a forced air furnace when they get that technology. So before then though, so there's wood and there's coal that's gonna come up and out of the cellar, supplies in the cellar. So those buckets of coal are kind of heavy. So they did Mary a favor here, and this is unique to our house, is that this hinge opens this door. So instead of those heavy buckets off, she could slide them to get them to the pair faces. So they were pretty good to me, you know. No wonder Mary doesn't want to leave here, you know. So this is very unique but dangerous here as well. So, and that's where the other Bundy sleeps.
Oh, I thought that was just my Parker.
Al Bundy, the shoe salesman. All right, so in the kitchen there, you see the, it looks real modern in the ceiling. Because in 1920, there was a fire in the kitchen after the Bundys already left here.
Oh, I heard about
Luckily,
that.
The house didn't go up, but the kitchen was pretty damaged, so that's why we have a real modern look here. So it was a wood stove in there like that one over there, you know, that caused the fire here. It's just about from the 1920s with gas technology.
I like gas stoves.
Yeah, I don't know, you cook on an electric stove. That's horrible. So back then, we didn't have what we used to say a traditional refrigerator. So you had what was called an ice box, right? He would bring one guy brought up, this guy would bring that big chunk of ice, and depending on the weather conditions, about a week maybe. So warm air rises, cool air will dissipate down, and keep your milk and everything cool. And also, so my grandfather had like the huge side-by-side ice maker and all that, but he never called it a refrigerator. He always called it an ice box. Go to the ice box for me, sonny. But although it's an ice box, the word refrigerator is printed in there, so they're trying to train us as well. Just call us a refrigerator eventually when it becomes electrified and stuff.
Cold, dry air.
Yep. So again, this Mary did pretty good. That's why she was. I mean, she had, look at the maid tag she had. You know, most servants are doing that in the crick. So Mary, so you know, Mary did pretty good. I mean, and again, I don't want to mess with Mary when she's swinging one of those around because, I mean, oh yeah, they're not as. So they're also rare to find because when the war started, that was melted down for munitions.
I can even
and
pick
stuff
it
as well.
up.
But again, don't mess with your wife.
There you go.
I don't know. The horse kicked him. I don't know what happened to him. So back here is, speaking of horses, I guess we call it the barn, but we call it the carriage house. So this is where the horses and the carriage, the driver slept, and we turned that into a venue here. So this is where our best funding and keeps us up in our rock. It's our lifeblood here. So on weekends, or you can rent this as well for your own party, for an anniversary, for a wedding. But in the meantime, we have rock and roll shows here, dude.
What a rock and
Real
roll.
metal, like raw kind of metal. We, you know, there's comedy nights.
Black Sabbath.
Yeah, Sabbath, yeah. Stormhood. These
Oh,
kids,
yes.
they play. They'll be here next Friday. So we also had, you know, there's drag shows, there's comedy nights, there's open mic nights. You know, when you think you have some jokes or you got, you know, a skit.
The only joke I have is you.
Also, yeah, that's my girlfriend. So we have the awning here. So rain, sleet, or snow, we get that here. You can still come on, have your cigarette. It's still a nice place. So we're gonna head over right in that door, and you have to be careful because the back of that building is also another dimension of time and space. So
You're good.
I was gonna say kiss the sunny days goodbye, but we ain't. Time of those anyway. Yeah, they're seeing our Stormwood here. They're gonna be here by 7:12. Yeah, those kids play, they call it sludge metal, but they do Sabbath covers.
Oh yeah.
Big, yeah.
So
It's
this
Ozzy's
is
gone, but never forgotten. Yeah, so this is, so the old barn has been restored and it's been turned into.
Okay, so
Karaoke night.
this was the carriage house?
Yes.
I was
You know, the
thinking-
wonderful wood and all those heavy duty.
Nice.
So, I tell you one thing, when those metal shows start going, it's loud. I resell earplugs because it's so loud here. But, it's a lot of fun.
Alright.
So,
Is it heavy metal or death metal?
well,
Both.
yeah, both.
I
And there's
can't
also a
I
bunch
don't
of kids who come.
understand death metal.
Karaoke night?
Well, punk music.
Understanding heavy metal and metal.
You know, after
not
Green
death
Day, it's like
metal.
it's me a new resurgence of punk, and it's like punk, and like they haven't decided if they're metal or punk yet, and so it's like, so and this is one of those musical transitions. So
Yeah.
we host a lot of those guys. There's sometimes 4-6 bands a night. Christmas time, it's called Christmas Carnage. I think there's 8 bands in a weekend, so it's a big weekend gig. So we love it. So what I was talking about eventually that IBM is here. So everything you need is in walking distance of the plant for IBM. So these movie theaters and Endicott and all that stuff has been torn down, and Progress has moved on. So all the old buildings and stuff have been torn down. But before they were, we got the seats out of the theater before they tore it down, and the bronzes, which were in front of the movie theater out in Endicott.
What in
Hide
the-
your eyes. I know it's supposed to put. They keep
What
putting
in
it
the Eden? What in the Eden?
Yeah, so this is our hip spot here. So when with
Ooh,
shows
pinball.
are going on, my
Tavern.
girlfriend works the bar
It's a
and
tavern.
works the second job. I worked all my life in restaurant business, so you know I'm back there making onion rings and French fries. So it's some extra hours.
Marty, you got any
This
quarters?
money That's here because we're still a nonprofit. We're not trying to.
Tavern.
But this is the place where it all happens. That came about a month ago. Well, plus you get 3 plays for a quarter.
Cause you're a pinball wizard.
You got to be a trick.
He's a pinball
Same
wizard.
thing with the barber shop. So across from the IBM plant, because IBM becomes white collared shirts, clean shaven. We are now business machines. We're not just like some factory anymore. So that's the kind of persona they do. So if you weren't looking so good, the barber shop's right across from the plant. The boss could say, "Go get cleaned up," and it was right there across the street. So this is the original barber shop that was there. And this is also the best place for photo opportunities. And this one works. I do have scissors. So we do sometimes fundraisers here as well. The kids can get even that kid can get a cut.
It's a cute little chair.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, it's official. The Halloween I had was totally covered in spider webs. The metal shows here. I'm the big kid here still. So again, we're kind of trying to be hip here, because if you guys go to some of the museums, you're like, hey, Renaissance art, we're kind of like the pop culture, big this event has so many
The pop rock view.
so many different people. This is like a melting pot, so there's bikers drinking with lawyers in here. Yeah, it's kind of cool. So they're also underage. Some of the shows, have to be, you don't have to go to the bar. We got
Marty.
so you guys can still show up.
Ding, 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 ding.
We also are very
We're
grateful
all
for
over
that.
21.
There you go. So
Almost
we
everyone.
do
You're over
and
21.
Nothing.
I know
glass.
I am.
You're 21.
So nothing glass and nothing on the high end because
I'm 24.
that church right there sits too close to us. So there's almost those separation of church and state. So you can't sell Patron and Jack Daniels because that becomes. Right. And some people just shouldn't take it,
Right.
all of a sudden,
Too much.
right, bottles smash over their heads. So we're kind of low key, plus it has a bit of a smaller capacity limit, so we
Marty.
have much trouble. We like it that way.
Jack Daniels.
Do it.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know if it has.
I like bourbon. Oh yeah.
Can I do the-
whiskey beer? Yeah. So there's a guy who
Yeah.
is a friend of mine. Sometimes he has like a crazy relationship with his girlfriend, and she kicks him out all the time. So he comes here, and he plays on the piano, so I call him the Piano Man, and he is great. I mean, like
Billy
now,
Joel.
hello, baby. I mean, he can do all that kind of stuff. The old Western kind of.
They call him Miss Molly.
Yeah, so we call him the Piano Man. So once in a while, come in here on the piano. He's sitting there.
Page up, Billy Joel.
This is gonna work pretty soon. The guy's supposed to come back. It broke down last year, but the guy who had donated to us was like in the 90s, so he passed away. And you just can't have like any electrician work on this. It has special fuses, so he's coming back.
It's an adorable
I called
little
the professor,
jukebox.
so yeah, it was pulled out. I came in here like just to see, because there's no one here. And this guy pops up from behind it with like Albert Einstein hair like this. And he's actually an engineer. So he does this as a tinker and part-time. We're gonna rock. We're broad daylight. We're gonna rock. Yeah. Oh, wait, that's what he wants to play. So
No.
So over here is going to be really what made this all possible, the time clocks. You know, the one we have in the house, like I said, is a later model, but you know, originally they were pretty big and bulky.
Excuse me, Nate.
That's my birthday, so I'm employee number 24. And then on the side here, see how this still spins? Inside you can look through the glass and see where the ledger is. And you change your day. You see it spinning around there?
Yeah.
Of course, we don't have any more inks for those anymore. But
My gosh.
they also started going to, they tried a key system. You got a key with your number on it, and it was yours alone. You would come in and punch it. You then took time cards, as you're probably familiar with.
Now this brings a whole new meaning to time after
Too,
time.
that this was I worked at that pizza on the Dusty Parkway, which is closed now. This was my first job. That was the exact same one that I punched in 1985.
Wow.
I know, wow, it's a long time ago. So again, all these machines and all these, you know, things that they're offering is what Watson decides, and there's a little blanket. And he's not having a good day either, he's all slacking over there. So Watson, you know, Watson came from the cash register makers. That's what he did for them. So again, all these CTR.
Typewriter.
I think that was more of an adding machine back then.
Oh.
Now, you know, we're just used to a little thing on your phone, but this is how they started out.
Calculator.
Yeah, same thing with, you know, the clock making. The big, huge clock on the wall picture with the little guy next to it, that's Willard's very first invention. And, you know, the guy's really brilliant because I always tell people, too, so if you're building something or you need supplies, you get to go to the store, right? And go get it, or the Radio Shack. Willard doesn't have that, so all those pieces he manufactures himself and punches them, and it's just amazing. So he's a pretty brilliant guy. And then eventually, superconductors, cell
I never
phones.
heard of a time traveling carousel.
Well, that's why right there is where you'll step into a different dimension of time and space.
The Twilight
Yeah,
Zone.
so that
I
carousel
heard
is
of
in the episode right after
I
Space.
saw a little bit of a. I think I saw 2 episodes of the Twilight Zone and one with something of youth and one with the.
Ooh, a typewriter.
That if the clock stops, the person dies.
Oh, yeah.
Morty,
There's
looks
a
just
lot
like you.
of ones. You know, the ones like, you know, because,
On Future, I don't know what it
well, this is actually the first show before Captain Kirk got onto the Enterprise. He was in 3 Twilight Zone episodes before 1968. So, do you know the Star Trek story, saga?
No.
Nope.
So, it was released in 1968, the show that we know, the old Star Trek, but it flopped. They weren't going to renew it. They scrapped it totally. But Lucille Ball.
Lucy, I'm home.
Lucille Ball came in and said, I like the idea. I'm going to put all the money up, reshoot the pilot. And they did. And you cannot escape Star Trek to this day. It's everywhere. It's like 75 years getting there. Yeah. So again, it was one of the quick stories that most people don't know. So, you know, so Mr. Serling grew up in this town. And even to his death, after he became a huge star, he came back here every single year until he passed away. So this was his
We're not talking about the singer, right?
Mr. Serling. So again, all the famous actors, we got a lot of wonderful autographs. There's Talking Tina. She's not talking right now.
Right now.
So you keep up with their spooky stories in the world?
Annabelle.
Did you hear what happened? The current owner died now. He's dead.
What?
Yeah, the guy who currently owned Annabelle is now dead. So that's like 3 or 4 people who owned it are dead.
Robert the doll.
So, Talking Tina's not that.
Chucky.
Here's the other thing. So, if some doll runs up on your house, what are you gonna do? Karen take his arms off, her head off. She's not. Yeah, she's gonna be. Stop, bro. So this is Talking Tina in the episode, but you could get one in the store. But I don't think they did a good job of making it.
That was scarier.
Yes, a red-haired stepchild.
Yeah.
Because
My gosh.
Talking Tina, has a life of her own, and she calls Telly Savalas, who becomes Kojak, but he's the star, and it says, "I don't like you. I'm going to kill you." He puts it,
Put it back on the
he
black
trips-
and white.
Nah, I kind of like
trips
this one.
over the doll,
Oh my gosh.
down the stairs, and breaks his
It's
neck.
kind of cool, but
Yeah, and then who do you call a dummy? So in this one, except Robertson, the dummy kind of comes, starts having its
like
own life and starts
like
talking, and I didn't say
Slappy,
that to
like
you.
Slappy on
Yeah.
Goosebumps.
It is.
It is like Slappy, but I think
Yeah,
this
so we
one
think that
came
house
before.
is spooky. This room is kind of more
before
spooky than what
Sorrow.
happens over there. I think.
Before
That
the
was science fiction.
before R.L. Stein.
Yeah, so this is the a replica of the carousel that's just up the street. That's in this episode right here. And now he's gonna come
Excuse
face to
me.
face with his father.
Sorry, I just wanted.
So all the Twilight Zone
Sorry.
episodes are painted on the top inside of that carousel when you go down. Obviously it's closed right now, but in the spring if you get a chance to go, it still operates. And there's the big bronze up there that was dedicated last year. A life size of Mr. Sterling standing in
Yeah.
tilted doorway. Yeah, it's just up the street. It's in walking distance. That's called walking distance. Walking distance. Just kind of talk for you. So this is he's also the first guy that starts doing stuff that we hear about every day now, like M. Night Shyamalan or Guillermo del Toro has the best movie, but the crazy endings. This is the guy that started the ending, like no way.
The cliffhanger.
Yeah, or some kind of a piece about the future of man. So he did a lot of cameos, like Stan Lee always showed up in the movie, or Stephen King's always in the movie. That's Rod Serling. And you look at that little girl, because I just saw her the other day. She's so beautiful, and she's still an actress to this day. You probably wouldn't recognize her. Do you recognize the girl?
Looks familiar.
Oh crap! Mess with the past, it's gonna mess with your future.
My best hint for that is, do you hear the lambs, Clarice? Do you hear the lambs?
Sound to the Lambs?
Yeah, who's the girl that plays it in there?
Oh my god, I'm drawing a blank.
Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster, yes.
She loves science fiction. She's been in a bunch of movies, Contact and all that. So there she is with Rod Serling. She really has aged well. She looks fantastic.
In which way?
Plus, she was in the one panic room when the guys tried to break into her house hall, and she beats them all up. So feel free to linger around there. I also like to do this. So at the end of the tour, if you want to go back into another place, take a deeper look at something, or somebody's got a camera, he's got you can out, and feel free. And then when we turn in lesson, if you want to come back and say goodbye to the visitor center or whatever. So we'll go to the last building. Can he be trusted to be running around campus?
Huh?
Can he be trusted to run around the campus? You said yeah. You're supposed to yeah. Again, they really had some 91. So that was really a photo lab in the cellar here, and this is like real photography where you do the chemicals and black and whites. You hang them up on a clothespin, like so. We do that here. You can get a workshop and learn how to do it.
It's like a dark. It's a dark room.
Hello, darkness, my old
Let me
friend.
get the lights. We're gonna run slowly here.
Dark room. So if
Be like that. We also have, we come up to date where we have digital
Oh.
printers and everything like that to make it, much quicker. So, this is the boss's wife runs this, and so they're kind of a separate entity from us. But I guess supposedly, during COVID, a lot of people were stuck. Obviously, we were all stuck in the house. So a lot of people picked up their cameras that were sitting in their closet, and it has become a big hobby again. Binghamton was like Rochester, where there was a GAF plant, an Ansco plant, so there's a lot of photography produced and stuff here, which is no longer here. So the interest has come up. So $15 a roll that we developed for another great revenue. So we don't have to go out pedaling because getting a grant and funding, you used to send like your unborn child, your leg, so that, you know. And right now, you know, the government's shut down, or they don't even want to support any arts or anything, just industrial. So we do pretty good here. So yeah, back those are also though. It's just unorganized in here. It drives me crazy. You know, real organized. See where the big camera is over there? It looks like the OK Corral. Upstairs is a archive of cameras from the beginning up to Instamatic.
Ooh.
Yeah. She had their fingers in everything here, so there's a little bit of something for everybody. There used to be, you know, the old rickety ones. So this was made by Eastman out of Rochester before Kodak bought them. So they, so if you let these guys collect stuff, they'd be orders here. There'd be stuff everywhere. So they did the best of the best on because it's so cool that all that clicks up inside of there, and all those little light meters are awesome. All the way down to my favorite thing in the whole museum, the Viewmaster. So when I was a kid, I never got to go to Disneyland and Disney World. You know, my parents did okay, but they were two real hardworking people. So my first exposure to Disney World, Disneyland was on one of those Viewmasters, which are 3D, and that Mickey Mouse and all that, and then the Lone Ranger. So those were the days.
Hi-ho, Silver, away!
Tonto! So now to purchase these or buy them online, dude, they're like, if I had all the ones I had, I'd be rich. They're a lot of money. So they had a talking one as well with Viewmaster. So that's the radio station playing upstairs.
Oh, yeah?
Yep, so upstairs we have a radio station. And it's very small to get up there, and also, every time I go up there, there's a recording. So I try and make too much noise. But then I always like to bust his chops. You don't fall asleep up pretty? The one guy plays rock and roll, you know, so everybody has, there's polka sometimes. Everybody has their little thing. Now that's Neil. Yeah, that's Andrew. He runs the whole place up there. I don't know if that's live or not, but if it is live, they'll be like, shh.
One way to find out.
Yeah, no, I don't. Well, plus there's also, so there's this DJ that works there. And his name is King. You know, have you experienced being in a hostage situation when someone talks to you and you can't escape them? They're like,
Maybe.
well, hey, you know, oh, dude, where you go? Wait, that's that guy. You don't want him to get you. But it's just what he does. His personality. He's a DJ. That's, you know, he was born for it. But again, make it short. Yeah. So again, we're swing around, and this will be where the visitor center is here. Before we go, though, if you want to go to any of the other buildings, I'll bring you out to the side here.
So, that was the ghost tour. Kind of cool.
We didn't go here. Wanna go in that one?
Ooh. Oh. Hello. What? Was it rocking?
No. It's just a little rumor.
It is rocking. It is rocking. You can barely see it, but I can see it rocking. See, now whenever you approach a mirror, you always gotta do this. The mirror test. You know how some videos...
I'm trying to hear the noise. Listen.
That?
Where is the clock?
What the hell is that? It's doing something when I do that. It's gotta be the clock.
Something.
Ooh, Michelangelo. The discus.
Oh, we did go through this. I see how we went when we went through.
Yeah.
I didn't think we went in through.
Which one? Was this the building that had the light going on?
No,
Or is that the other one?
that was upstairs somewhere.
Upstairs, right here?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Do you want to go up the stairs?
Are those old binoculars? Actually, I don't think we went in here. Oh, look at that. Please take photos. Looks just like Mom. Toothless. What?
Toothless.
Toothless. Ooh. This is cool. It's dead.
Don't be too hard.
It's not going that hard. It doesn't work. Now watch when you come back down here, that tooth's gonna be up. Or you'll hear pianos.
It'll unstick right here. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, 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 ding.
Okay.
Seriously, look at this glass painting. This is cool. I almost tripped.
Right? Wasn't she like kind of by herself? That was a studio.
That was the studio.
Here. Oh, here.
Found it?
Yep. The light's on. Is it on? Nope.
Marty, wave. Uh-oh.
There it is.
There it, oh! Probably just a dead watt.
Short. Short, isn't it? Wait, is that his phone? No. That's his phone.
Yep.
We'll take it back to him.
Thank you for watching, and if you made it this far, please consider liking, subscribing, following. Leave a comment down below if I missed something that I didn't see and you guys saw it for me. And hope you enjoyed. So, see you on the next one, whenever that may be.